locked in. GloucesterCast 245, 5 away from the big 250. It's October 8th. We're going to introduce our first guest, and then we got more people coming later, but a very special guest. Paul Lundberg is with us today.
Hello, Joe.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing good. You are running for City Council at large. You're an incumbent. And how many years have you served?
So I'm in my second term now, and I'm running for my third term.
Running for your third term. Can you give a brief, a little bit about yourself?
Sure.
For people that don't know already.
Sure. I grew up here. I went to Gloucester High School, class of 1969, and went off to college in Chicago. Worked in Chicago after college for the Chicago Northwestern Railway. I started as a conductor on the trains, and then went into management. When our company was purchased by a bigger railroad, the Union Pacific, we came home to Gloucester, and that was 17 years ago. Stayed in the railroad business. I did a year as the general manager of commuter rail here in Boston, and I still do a lot of management consulting for railroads, in addition to being on the city council and on the boards of Addison, Gilbert, and Beverly Hospital and Wellspring House. So that fills up my day.
A lot of hats.
I'll say. Wow.
Quite a few hats.
Quite a few hats.
Yeah.
The railroad. So you must be very knowledgeable about what's going on with the railroad bridge and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, yeah, with the T itself in general. But yes, the railroad bridge over the Annisquam River is going to be replaced, and it's going to be an engineering marvel because train service will not be interrupted during the 2 years when the bridge is being replaced. And the way they can do this is that the bridge carries 2 tracks across the river. They're going to cut the bridge in half down the middle, take one half off, leave the other half in service for the trains, replace the one half. Then when that's done, they'll switch over and take out the other old half and put it back together again. It's going to take 2 years. They're going to start next year. But that's a structure that needs replacement.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I was wondering how that was going to
work.
play out with and maintain service.
Yes.
Because a lot of people depend on it.
Right,
A lot of people depend on it.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, Paul, you're running for council at large. What drives someone to want to put in the hours required to be an effective city councilor?
I'll tell you what drives me. When we first came back to Gloucester from Chicago, and Bruce Toby was the mayor at the time, and I asked him if I could do something for the city, and he appointed me to the planning board. And I was on the planning board for 6 years. And the thing that I liked about the planning board was that people who come to city government to get something done, number one, they really care, that's why they're there, and number two, city government can actually do something for the citizen who comes. And the planning board, in the case of the planning board, it was, zoning changes and changes to their property designations and so forth. Same as on the city council. We deal with a lot of issues that might seem mundane, but they affect people's lives in real ways. And city government is probably the most responsive of all levels of government in terms of the ability of elected officials to react to citizens and help them with their issues. So that's why I'm in city government, and I really like it.
That's a nice answer.
Yeah, that's well done. It's well done.
All right. Speaking to some specifics, what are some of the things you're proud that you were involved with on the last 2 terms, and what is some of the low-hanging fruit that you see that you would like to see happen in your next term if elected?
Sure. Well, I think that the thing that I'm proudest of from the city council standpoint is that we have been able to vet and pass the budgets proposed by the mayor in the last 4 years, the different mayors in the last 4 years, to the point where they're balanced and where there is no strain on the schools, and we can support the school system, and that we've been able to do that without cutting into the school personnel, and that's been really something that we're all very proud of.
You don't hear a lot of squawking when it comes time for budget time.
No,
like in some past years, there's been a lot of turmoil as far as these people, getting between the fire department or the police department or the teachers.
Yeah.
You don't
really
I really haven't heard.
So that's well done.
We've gotten that.
That's hard work.
Pretty well settled, and that is hard work, and it takes a lot of cooperation, and it takes cooperation from the various groups too, the police, the fire, and the
Oh, right.
teachers.
Oh, yeah.
But they're all pulling on the rope the same way we are, and I think that's what really is something to be proud of. And I think, personally, having been a product of the Gloucester Public Schools, I think that's really our number one goal, is to make those schools the best schools that they can be. And because then that feeds into the second part, which is economic development. Because when businesses want to come here or expand here, they want to know, how are the schools, and do I have a workforce I can tap? And the good schools produce the good workforce, and so it's an economic development thing as well as a quality of life thing.
A lot of big challenges with the schools.
A lot of big challenges.
Yeah.
We got to rebuild the rest of the elementary schools at some point.
Yeah, yes,
The West
absolutely.
Parish turned out to be beautiful, and now the others need. The others are all 50 plus years old too.
I went to East Gloucester Elementary, and my wife to be's son went there last year, and it was the first time I had been in the school since I was there, and really there hasn't been much
You could find your way
upgrading
around
at
still.
all. And I mean, this is like 40 years time. So Paul, as far as low-hanging fruit, like what are some things that you see that you'd like to see changed or more of the same?
Two things, Joey. One thing is we have seen a great success with the new hotel in Gloucester. There was a lot of controversy in the neighborhood about that and changing the character of the neighborhood, but what it really has done is it's changed the character of downtown Gloucester, and it is acting as an engine to all those small businesses that call Main Street their home. The second thing, and this is not low-hanging fruit, by the way, the second thing that I think is really important, and you live this every day, is making sure that we preserve enough of the waterfront so that it can accommodate the needs of the fishing industry that's left. This fishing industry is changing, and you're in the lobster business, which is booming, but the rest of the fishing industry is going through an evolution.
There's an unbelievable consolidation that's taken place that I could never have imagined 25 years ago.
No, that's right.
I mean the reduction from like 100 down to 5 is just beyond anything I could have ever imagined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so our job is, all of our jobs, not only city government, but all the citizens, is to make sure that we maintain the necessary infrastructure for the business that is evolving. And I think we can do that. And it means be vigilant and mindful of what it is we have to do.
Last night we went for a drink at the hotel. It was quick, just quick, because it's that lobby and that space is so beautiful. From there, we went and we saw a movie at Cape Ann Community Cinema, which that guy is doing like great shows, like really interesting programming there. It's just a jewel to have there, and to support that place, because it really is a jewel. And then we walked down to the Franklin for dinner, and as we walked from that whole walk, I swear to God, I felt like I was on Hanover Street in the North End.
Really?
It was bustling. It was like 8 o'clock at night, and it was bustling, and it was just beautiful. There was young, old. It was dark out. Young, old. The pavers, the gas lamp looking lights,
feel the energy
fixtures.
and
Gloucester has come so far in the past 15 years, and I'm glad you said when you're speaking about the hotel, you spoke about it in a positive light, because to me there is no, the hotel is nice and all, but I don't think there's a but in that conversation. I think we'll leave it at that. But thank you so much for coming in.
I'll just mention one quick thing, just to show my age and history. I remember when Tono, where this nice fancy restaurant was, Captain Bill's.
See, I don't remember Captain Bill's.
What was Captain
I don't remember
Bill's?
Captain Bill's.
What was Captain Bill's?
It was a restaurant.
It was,
yeah.
A seafood restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Captain
funny.
Bill was the chef.
Oh wow, you are going back.
So but my point is, there's a lot of history that we all share, and I think everybody appreciates what that means, and I think we're doing a heck of a good job maintaining it and nurturing it.
I think we have. I think the last probably 4 years or so, the city council has only gotten and the candidates have only gotten stronger. I think we've gotten.
Oh,
I think we've
yeah.
come around. I think we have some forward-thinking
Yep.
councilors.
We do.
We do.
And it's
Yeah, it's
been
great.
they've been a big asset to the city. So thank you, Paul, for
Okay.
coming in.
No,
I hope
thank
you
you.
enjoy your morning.
Very much. Anyway, good
Thank
seeing you all.
Okay, before you go, let's have a.
That was a great little. Kim Smith showed up. It was nice to have Kim here. Pat, Jimmy Dalpiaz, and for the first time, Judy, not Dalpiaz.
Ryan.
Judy Ryan.
Ryan Moore.
Judy Ryan Moore, because all of the Dalpiaz sisters, Ryan sisters, all hyphenate, like, right?
Now they do. Now they do from here on out.
Paula Ryan O'Brien is hyphenated.
No.
Kind of.
Oh,
Yeah.
I said only because of Facebook
In
that I
this
see it
room,
this way.
yes, because of Facebook to help
Oh, that's
her.
the only reason.
Pretty much.
Okay,
Pretty much. But she loves being Paula Ryan O'Brien. So.
Paula Ryan O'Brien.
Yeah.
Well, she's super FOB.
And we like
so.
it, and we like that too. So this is my other sister, Judy, one of my other sisters, Judy, who came for a visit with her husband this weekend.
Who I thought was the one that chewed me out for using
Yes.
a curse word,
Yes, yes.
but it wasn't. Apparently, it wasn't.
Don't blame
No, it
that
would
one
never
on me.
be. It would never be. It would never be Judy.
Oh, because she curses a lot. Is that why you're saying? She's a
I
big
plead the
cursor.
fifth.
I sense that she's a big cursor. Anyway, thank you for my Happy Belly coffee.
Good tip. That's a great place. We loved it.
Yep. We'll talk. We're gonna
Yes,
talk about
pulled
that.
pork quesadilla.
Bananas,
Oh,
right?
really?
Amazing.
There you go.
Good.
So Heidi Dallin just popped in with like a bazillion people. 1, 2. Well, we get a stage bomb. Do we count the stage bombs?
Yeah, we got everybody. One.
stage.
You guys can actually say things too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 people here all together.
That's how important you are to us, Joey.
Okay,
Seriously.
we'll go with that.
Nothing else would get them up this early on a Sunday morning.
True.
Well, Kim went there's the cast of the To Kill a Mockingbird
Mockingbird.
playing currently at Gloucester Stage and playing through when?
October 27th.
Which is next Thursday?
No.
No.
2 Fridays.
3 weeks. 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah,
And it's
I'm
mostly
sorry.
weekend performances. We have 2 weeknight performances, which are Wednesday, October 11th, and Thursday, October 26th.
Okay.
Other than that, it's Friday night, Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon.
So whose decision was it to bring back such a classic?
I mean, most all decisions that happened at Gloucester Stage are Bob Walsh.
Bob Walsh, the man.
And a dual decision with Bob Walsh and your new friend Jeff Zinn, who was here for Flight of the Monarch. And one of the other reasons was the fact that the reason we don't have the weekday performances, we have schools coming. We have 200 kids a day during the week coming in to see the show.
Oh my God, that's fantastic.
Whoa.
From all over New England, and it's
That's
really
brilliant for the actual space as well.
Yeah, well, and it's a way because we want to partner. I mean, we have a great youth program, right, Gabriel? Right, Anita? Yeah.
Beautiful children in this cast, by the way.
Yes.
Beautiful
yeah.
children.
Beautiful.
Jesus.
So we have a great youth program, and we want to be of service to the schools. And To Kill a Mockingbird is something everybody reads in school.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have a student in Rockport, they read it in 8th grade, and I have a student in the youth program, and she's ushering every performance this weekend because she hasn't finished reading the play yet. And she wants to see it.
That's hilarious.
So I won't say her name, but Anita knows who it is, though. But yeah, so it's a great way. It's a great partnership with the schools, and everybody talks about arts and the schools and things like that. And this is a way that we are, that we're kind of partnering. And hopefully it's something we'll do more in the future. So that was a big part of the decision as well.
That's brilliant. I think it's a brilliant decision. Kim, you saw the show last night, and you said,
Okay.
I'm going to put you on the spot right now.
Okay, well,
So any of the
I stand
previous
by what I
casts
said.
that have been here throughout this summer, just know that you all stink in comparison to this cast, according to Kim Smith.
Including Lindsay
Aren't those the
Krause.
words you said? Exactly, just like that?
Now, Now, I stand by my word. This was the best show of the summer. I'm not kidding.
Wow.
I'll say
You
that.
just put it out there.
I put it out there. You know.
Thank you.
All right, so
Brad Hall
I'm
is
gonna-
leaving show business right now. Brad Hall is done.
Brad Hall, my boy. I have felt such a connection to this guy, and he's never coming back because he just ruined it for us.
I loved all the shows this summer. My husband and I have seen all the shows. We enjoyed every single one, but we were riveted. It was powerful, beautiful.
She's gonna cry. She's welling up.
Not so
That
lovely.
powerful. She is beet red like a tomato, but that's nothing new because she gets like that. But I've never seen you well up on the podcast. This is incredible. That powerful.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's great.
Oh my God! I wish this was on video.
That's why we do it.
Camera.
I wish this was on video. Do you need a tissue? Here's a tissue. Jesus. Here, get yourself together. Pull yourself together.
I'm glad you were touched.
Very deeply. It's beautiful. I'm very familiar with the story, and I've seen the movie and read the book many times, and the acting was so powerful. Just really brought it to life. So there you go.
Thank you.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you.
There's a couple tears on this side.
That'll be as well. Tim Smith cried. Yeah.
All the hard work that these people have put in, all the years of acting lessons and putting in the time behind the scenes, I think you just made it all worthwhile for them.
Sorry.
Talk about it,
I want to just chime in and just say this is why we do what we do, is to try to touch people and make a meaningful impact. And everyone knows this play, or has read the book or seen the movie at some point, but you go see it live and it has this powerful impact. When we were rehearsing the play, we all knew it's a classic and but then as we worked on it and especially getting in front of an audience, all of a sudden it touched me, at least I think all of us, on so many deeper levels. And part of it is the story and racism in America, past, present, and also seeing it through the lens of these children who we have such gifted, I'm going to well up right now, we have such gifted young actors in this play. I have been in theater my whole life, and some of these performers are some of the best young actors I've seen. And their dedication to the work and their energy and their talent is truly, it's an honor for me to be on stage with them.
This is Louis Wheeler.
He showed up.
Exactly.
You missed all the crying. You missed the tears. You missed the crying.
Was the commute bad from around the corner? No, he can stand. Sit down there.
He can stand now.
Flower.
Would you like a Red Bull?
Nathaniel, no. He needs to sit. He's a delicate flower. Sit down. How's it going, buddy?
Good.
Thanks for coming. You legit just missed Kim Smith just bawling her eyes out because the show was so powerful. So, how's that make you feel?
Some responsibility is in it, knowing that you have this sort of power to make people burst into tears. So it's very interesting to see people in the lobby afterward, in tears and their reaction.
So Kim isn't the only one.
No.
Many people. I've seen my family, my friends come out and they're like,
Yeah, young
sobbing.
kids.
Yeah.
Like kids.
And we hear
Holy
it in the house
Jesus.
at night. We hear people sniffling.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard that.
I mean, even between us, the cast, there's moments of sometimes you're just in it, and sometimes it just hits you. Sometimes I'll be watching Jean Louise, her ending monologue, and sometimes I'll just be hit with the weight of what she's doing and what she's saying, and the weight of having children bear witness to this and be a part of this is something really powerful and impactful.
We've been talking to these casts for years. They've been coming through this room. We've never had anything like this. And this isn't the New York cast. This isn't the Tony. I mean the ones winning all the awards. This is these. I mean, maybe they are. I haven't read through. I'm sorry.
We all have Tonys. Come on.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I mean, I mean, I like feel like I want to like shut down the business
Yeah.
and go to this performance.
You should bring your girls. You have to come and bring the girls. I mean, it's a good.
I have to now. I mean, I legit feel like I have to. Wow. Holy crap. So Kim, why don't you ask him, why don't you go ahead, because you were there, you witnessed it. I want you to go ahead.
Well, do you want me just to ask
Yeah.
a question?
Yeah, take over.
Do you want to go around and have everybody introduce themselves and say so we know who's talking?
Go ahead. Yeah, but yeah.
Okay.
Nate Oakes, Jem.
Aaron Dowdy, and I'm Tom Robinson.
Carly Williams, Scout. Gabriel McGee, Dale.
Lewis Wheeler playing Atticus Finch.
Amanda Collins, Jean Louise Finch. Cheryl Singleton, playing Calpurnia.
Tom Grennan, I play Walter Cunningham and the judge.
I'm Tim Spears, and I'm the assistant director.
Who does the assistant director? I should add doesn't want to be asked any questions. It's a first. It's a first for the Gloucester. Well, a lot of firsts with the Gloucester stage people right now. We have a director. Usually the directors are chatty Cathy's. We can't even get a word in edgewise with the actors. He doesn't want to speak, and I mean, and we've never had anyone burst out in tears.
I would just like to give a round of applause to the stage moms who make it possible for their kids to do
And dads. Stage dads as well, yep. And some dads there picking up late at night.
Yeah, we have a couple Gloucester kids, but Carly comes from Bridgewater, so that's a long haul.
That's a hike.
But you gotta go far and wide to find someone as
Yeah.
talented as her. She plays Scout, Carly here, and she's just so wonderful and so honest, and it's really a joy. I know Lewis has talked about sharing scenes with her and just...
Yeah. She's so real and present.
She's so
and,
natural.
You know,
It's just amazing. It was just, it was phenomenal to see. Like, even just, I love like when you're on the swing, the tire swing. It just looks, at the stage is minimal but very, very beautiful, and just adds to the depth of the scenes, and because it doesn't overpower in any way. It's just there, and it just gives you a beautiful sense of what's unfolding. And I wondered, like, did you just naturally like cook your, just look dreamy and and kid-like, or were you directed to do that? I mean, is that
On the tire swing?
Yeah, like, or just a lot of the.
Was that acting, or was that come natural to you? Just like, this is what I would do on a tire swing, or was that someone? Did someone say, "I want you to look off into the distance"?
No, I mean, I just sat on the tire swing and just
natural.
Yeah, just natural.
Yeah.
I mean, all the kids in the show are just beautiful. It's just.
How many times did you read the book before you did the play?
Well, I read like half of the book, and then I watched the movie like 8 times.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just wonderful.
Yeah, everybody was just all the adults, everybody. I don't want to just say the kids were phenomenal. It's just a beautiful show in every way. Every cast member is phenomenal. Riveting. The show is riveting. Very powerful. Yeah.
I mean, I will say, I find it very rare that you see a show that's kind of resting on the backs of young people that are this young, and you can sit through it for 2.5 hours and not be pulled out. That's super rare. So I think it's like really a testament to how much these guys actively listen to one another on stage, how connected they are to one another, and to how much Tim Spears and Judy Braha, our director, has like really shepherded them into playing with each other, rather than just forcing them to do it this way, because that's not what you're seeing. And I think if that's what you were seeing, it wouldn't be as it wouldn't hit you.
Right. Yeah, during rehearsals, I've had directors that go like, "All right, do this and work with it," but I notice all the time Judy Braha is like, "Okay, do this, but why are you doing it? Why do you think you feel this way?" And then we have to answer ourselves, and we have to build our own character.
Yeah, she's like, "What do you think you should do?"
Right.
So that makes it more natural for you, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Very good. Huh. That's a good insight for us. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
Unbelievable. So the plays on the weekends, and
There's talkbacks after the next 2 Sundays. The next 2 Sundays, talkbacks after the show with the cast, which should be very fun.
Kim, is there any other questions you want to ask related to the show?
No.
I mean, they can't give spoilers because the show, I mean, everybody knows.
Everybody knows it, but I just would urge the whole community to come out and see it, because it would be something that would be very sad to miss, I think.
What are the show times this weekend?
It's well,
Friday
this week
night.
coming up, there's a Wednesday show at 7:30, and then Friday night at 7:30, Saturday at 2 and 7:30, and Sunday at 2.
Saturday, what are the show times on Saturday?
2 and 7:30.
We say this all the time, that you don't have to go to Boston or New York to see top.
Yeah. Well, I want to.
Theater.
Yeah, I'm
It's
hoping,
right here in
hoping soccer
Boston.
doesn't interfere with the.
Take them out of soccer this month.
Yeah.
Take them out of soccer this
Tim,
month.
is there anything that you want to say about this play?
No,
this cast, or
I think other than what's really great about this experience is not only being able to share it, but also a room full of, you don't usually get cast this big, and so we've got 13 people of all ages, plus the directors, plus the stage management team and the designers, and so one of the gifts of working on a piece like this is the rehearsal room. You're also constantly spending the time asking each other the questions that are presented by the play, and the kind of morality issues that come up, and so even as a cast and as an ensemble, you're forced to find your own articulation into these moments, and so I think we've all even at this point been changed and by the process, grappling with the story, and it's been really magical this week to bring all the elements together, to see it alive, and to see the audience responses, and that's been very powerful.
Fantastic. All right. Well, listen, we're going to put a link to the. Would you like to say something?
I was just going to say, one of the lovely things that Judy had us do at the top of this is to bring in something, had each cast member bring in something that meant the world of the play to them, that had some connection for them. So for our first rehearsal with everybody, we each brought in something and talked about it and passed the objects around and had them in a circle, so that we could all just sort of look at them and talk about them and find out a little bit more about each other and what this play meant to us, and that was
a tremendous exercise.
Yeah.
Tremendous exercise.
So is Judy? Does she head up the theater department at Boston University, or what is?
She's a director and a directing program at Boston University for the graduate students, and she also teaches acting for the sophomores and the seniors.
Oh, okay, great.
Anybody else have anything they'd like to add?
Well, I think what's interesting, I mean, we have Jean Louise and Scout here, that you get to see a grown-up Scout.
Yeah.
And you get to see, and which Amanda does beautifully, and I think, and Amanda's in the world of the play, but how is that? I watch you on stage, and I think it must be difficult.
It's a lot of fun. I narrate the play, so I started off and sort of interject in between to kind of keep the story moving along. But it's been interesting. And at what moments am I really reliving it? At what moments am I distancing myself emotionally from what's going on? At what point is it actually this remembering what it was like, or at points being bemused by my younger self and my brother being silly, or what points? It's been a lot of fun, and honestly, I thought at the beginning of the process that when Judy said you're going to be on stage the entire time, and we'll find little places so you're not distracted to the audience, but you'll be engaged the entire time, and I thought, wow, that's going to be a lot. But it's really fun, and it's fun to watch you guys, the other actors on stage, change and grow with each other. And it is different every night. It's live theater, so things and relationships are changing or getting more deep. People are discovering new things every night. And I get the joy of being able to not just be watching it as an audience member, but in it actually emotionally as another character, and that's really quite a joy. And I was not an actor when I was as young as Carly, and I always felt like Scout would be a great role for me. So now I get my shot at Scout. There you go.
Funny. You know what was so funny was, well, it's not fun, I guess a little funny. We're saying, we always talk to the actors, and they always talk about how they're exhausted. Because to be in a play at the, you know, first of all, they put there at night, and to give yourself into these roles, you're mentally and physically you're exhausted, right? So we're kind of we're making fun of Mr. Oakes over here for not being here on time and saying he's getting tired and everything. But now I kind of have to give him a hall pass because all you guys must be. I mean, it's such it must be mentally, physically, just at the end of it, you must be ready to. You must be amped up, but not able to go to sleep at the same time. That's how I could probably imagine it. I mean,
up till 2 a.m. wired. It's hard to get to sleep after doing all this energy and emotion.
I'm the opposite. I go home and I'm like, bam.
But everybody's been living in Gloucester all week.
Yes, people have been very generous opening up their homes for us.
Everybody's been living in Gloucester, so you can walk over to the theater and they live by the beach. They go to the Good Harbor Beach.
You know what? Normally October you wouldn't be having beach days. So you guys doing all right. You're doing all right.
Beach day.
Right? There you go. There you go. All right, I'm going to put links to everything in the show notes.
And there is a tire swing on stage at Gloucester. At Gloucester City. I just want to say, we buried the lead with talking about it. There's a tire swing that the kids all go on, and it's pretty cool to see it hanging from the rafters at the theater.
That's awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys all again for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, huge announcement right now. And I want to make this about this particular company because they were. Cape Ann Community Cinema has agreed on a weekly basis to sponsor 2 free tickets to their shows, and it's going to be a podcast prize. We're gonna ask a question, and you have to listen to the podcast. The answer will be if you listen to the podcast.
And that part's not going to be time stamped, right?
Yes, I was just thinking that.
No, the winner is going to be the first person to either comment on the blog and share and tag me, or comment on Facebook and share and tag me.
That's great.
Yes,
Wonderful.
2 tickets. That's I don't know how much the tickets go for. They're like probably $10 a piece, though.
Yeah.
That's a good take.
Yeah.
That's great.
And so I went last night. We saw Lucky Logan, which was Daniel Craig. Katie Holmes,
Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum. I forget that.
I didn't see Magic Mike. Huh?
Great. See, the women would know that.
I have not forgotten that.
The woman would
this
know
side of the
that.
room, we all know that one.
Right. Great show. But I love that space, and he shows such awesome movies.
Yeah.
Like there's always there's like the fluff pieces, because Logan Lucky kind of was like a quirky comedy, maybe a dark comedy, kind of whatever. But there's always like very thoughtful programming there.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I think
It's a great variety. You can see Lucky Logan one, but you can see a documentary about some issue that you're passionate about the next night. So
absolutely. So we want to. So we're thankful to him, and there's a link to the. There's always. I should point out. There's always in the top post of the blog. They have their show schedule, their schedule.
Oh, yes.
You can always see what's playing there anytime. If you just go to Good Morning Gloucester.
Super quick. It's the easiest way to
find out.
Yeah.
On top of that, in this podcast, there's a link to go directly to his website where he has all his movies. He keeps it's a blog format. Yeah. There's trailers and everything for what happens to be playing at the time. He does a good job with that. So there's that.
Great. Terrific.
So I don't know if I mentioned this during the podcast. Did I mention this during the podcast? How we went for dinner and then we walked down.
No, you did not.
Oh, that was before the podcast. I was talking to Paul Lundberg.
Yep. Okay,
so last night we went to Beauport for a drink.
Right.
And it started getting dark. We walked to Cape Ann Community Cinema. We saw Logan Lucky.
Right.
From there.
2-minute walk.
It's a 2-minute walk.
Right.
It's like 7:30 at night. We walked to the Franklin, but the walk from Cape Ann Community Cinema in the West End to kind of like the middle of Main Street at the Franklin, it was honestly the most I've ever felt it's just like being on Hanover Street. Are you sure I didn't talk about this earlier?
You did say it, but I don't believe we were
No, we
recording.
didn't.
You
You
even said we should have had this on the podcast.
Okay, but honestly, so like there's the pavers, right? We have there's the pavers, there's the gas lamp kind of lighting, and the vibe down there was like young people hanging out on the street, older people. The restaurants were all packed.
Yeah.
It's just vibrant down there.
That's funny you said that because at 10, we were there at like 10:30 at night having dinner at the Franklin after the play, and it was packed then too.
Well, Franklin is known for being. Well, Heidi goes there all the time,
Yeah,
because they serve dinner late.
You can eat late. I mean, it's great.
But I mean, it was just still very buzzy there at 10:30 everywhere on Main Street. So it was really.
Well, like Tano's awesome, Passports is awesome. Like, but
guess where we went when my mother and father-in-law were here? We went to Tano, Duckworth, and the Franklin.
There you go. There you go.
You hit winners. You hit winners all the way around, right?
You're just showing off.
You hit winners all the way around. But like, I always kind of highlight a different restaurant every week. But like, I just wanted to do a shout out to Maria Seniti, because she's really the heart and soul of that place. And to maintain the level that from they've been around for a while. It's got to be at least 14 years.
It was packed last night. Dinner came in.
But they've kept the place fresh too. It's clean. It's clean. That the bathrooms are updated.
Right.
It's a big testament to the work that they're doing.
Dinner came in 5 minutes last night. Drinks were.
My dinner came like it was almost. I blinked and my dinner came out and
Right.
I don't know what kind of magic chefs they have back there.
No, I don't know either.
But I almost like.
Mine, and it's fresh cooked. It was
fresh cooked. Absolutely, it's fresh cooked.
Right. I had the grilled calamari, and Tom had the cod, and it came in 5 minutes. Really, it was amazing.
My dinner was the same thing. I got the duck confit raviolis, and oh my lord, tremendous.
When it's especially at 10:30 at night, I'm hungry at 10:30. I've been up since 4:30.
Right.
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
No, I hear you.
Right. I love the bread with the hummus. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
The bread with the hummus. Kate eats that with a spoon and without the bread. She just pounds it down.
Yeah, that hummus is amazing.
It is amazing. So there's that. Did we mention Happy Belly yet?
No, we did not.
Okay, Pat and Jimmy, thank you very much for bringing me my Happy Belly coffee.
Actually from Judy.
Judy, the one that did Judy, who did not reprimand me for cursing.
Judy, who did not reprimand you.
Right, Ryan.
He's no longer dead to you.
And is no longer dead to me. That's correct.
Last week.
But Happy Belly, I actually texted Mark. I texted Mark McDonough because I had to, because I wanted to find out more about the coffee roasting that happens at Happy Belly, because they are the only coffee shop in town that actually roast their own beans. So I texted Mark and I said, I want to either do a piece. It's hard for me to get away from the wharf to do a good piece at other places. So, but I said, either this winter I want to come do a piece, or I want your roaster to come on the podcast and talk about, because I'm fast, I'm a coffee freak.
I know, you love that.
But their coffee is what?
Are they going to come?
I think so. He said. He said Tom. The guy's name is Tom at Happy Belly. Is most responsible for doing the coffee roasting.
They did an amazing job inside there. That is gorgeous.
It's on its third transformation. I don't know where, or how, but it's just every time it's awesome. But speaking to the coffee, so I asked him. I asked Tom, the roaster, what kind of beans he uses. They're Brazilian beans, and so here's the coffee freak in me coming out. I just wanted. This is all I'm going to say is this. It is zero. A Starbucks. I like 10% of their different coffee blends. The Cafe Verona is has a little bit of sweetness, no bitterness, but it's still, you feel like you're drinking a good cup of coffee.
I drink that every morning at home.
Cafe Verona?
Yeah, because.
Did I turn you on to that?
No, I've always had, but I have the decaf.
Okay.
And not very many decafs are good, and that's a good decaf.
So the getting back to the Happy Belly once again, their coffee is strong, zero bitterness.
Right.
Zero bitterness. Yep. And if you need a cup of coffee to kind of get you over the hump, totally get you big time buzz. Big time buzz. I love it.
I think I'll go get a cup of decaf after the
I've been into this, like, I've been all about my 8 o'clock coffee down the wharf and saving money on coffee and not going out for expensive coffees.
But no longer, right?
It's not that expensive, and it is awesome.
Well, and you know, if you have the Serenitee card, it works as a coffee card.
Did not know that.
So you get the punches through the Serenitee. Use your Serenitee
10 coffees, you get a free coffee.
Oh,
And just using your card is easy. It's not like you have to keep track of anything.
Yeah.
They do it for you.
Yeah.
So you don't have to, like,
Nice.
you have to dig through a tray or
Right.
anything. But, so this past week, it's my birthday month. I got an email that I have a free entree at any of the Serenitee restaurants. Free. $30 entree.
Free.
Come on in. Free entree.
Yeah.
I got a free coffee because I had 10, and if you're from the Gloucester area, you got an email this past week saying you had to use it within 2 days at Happy Belly, free $10. I used that one.
I use that too.
Why wouldn't you? Why do you not like money?
I know. Well, I got $20 like a few months ago too. They put on it, and of course you go in and you spend more.
I haven't done this yet. So you.
How many times have I said it?
I'll go today, get a cup of coffee, and get a Serenitee card.
They have them ready at the register. All you have to do is it's a 2-second process.
They ask you when you go. You know, do you have?
They don't always ask you.
Oh,
well, maybe because I pulled my card out right away, so they didn't know not to ask me. Did they ask you guys this morning?
No, they didn't. No.
I'm afraid of what may have just happened. You may have just got someone fired.
No.
Pat Dalpiaz is the one that got you fired, just in case you're wondering. It wasn't Joey Shimito.
What's that? It was pretty obvious that I'm not local, and
well, you got the Cape Pond Ice shirt on.
Oh, I do, don't I?
No locals wear those, though. So everybody from out of town gets them.
Everybody in Oxford wears them.
Is that a new color? I love that pink.
I've had this.
It's not brand new. It's not brand new.
No, I've had this at least 6 months. I would say, maybe a year.
I love that color.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah,
you can make a pink vagina hat out of it if it ever gets a
No, but also I do remember one of Liv's friends gave Charlotte a little Cape Pond Ice onesie thing. Yeah.
They have a lot. They still
Cape Pond Ice onesies.
They have a great little gift shop.
Yeah,
they do.
I would say it's. All right, let's name off the great gift shops in town. We're gonna forget some.
Oh, yeah,
Hold on. We're gonna go. You have to Pauline's Gifts because she's such a fan of the blog.
Yeah.
Cape Ann.
Number one.
Cape Ann Whale Watch has the best, without question, has the best caps.
Oh, Maritime Gloucester.
Maritime Gloucester.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
Jesus. I guess you have to say the Weathervane because they have a lot of the kitschy stuff, right?
And we said Cape Pond Ice.
We said Cape Pond Ice. Yeah, so there's some great.
There's some great.
Like when I'm talking, when I say gift shops, I'm talking about like with Gloucester related, like T-shirts and stuff like that. Not just this is the Pisces. Listen, if I'm going to get a present for my mom, I'm going to Pisces.
And they wrap it.
One Ocean, One Love. They have wonderful
Oh,
stuff.
absolutely they do. Yeah. They're kind of off the beaten path.
Yes, they are, but everybody loves going there. I mean, it's a great little location, and they have.
I haven't been in there yet.
Oh, go! Oh my goodness!
I have to.
And they have a main store in Rockport too.
The Rockport Biscuit Neck shop I went through, and it's done very professionally. It doesn't. It looks like they could. It looks like they could take that model or whatever they did in there and reproduce those like Tommy Bahama did all over and take over the world. But for the Northeast.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, to do what Tommy Bahama did for the West Indies and Florida, on the Northeast.
Yeah.
Jesus, I have so many show notes that I have to fill in between those two topics. It's gonna take me an hour to do the show notes after this, and I already thought I had them all printed out.
I know. We'll have to do another podcast this week.
I'm not the next huge. Well, this is very Kim centric because Kim a lot of things happen with Kim right now. Kim, the Monarch film fundraising, you have a chance to all the people that want to get behind Kim's film. First we started her crying. Well, we're not gonna have you cry again. So
I know. I'm worried about that.
But no, like so many people respond to your posts, and you have a huge following. Now is the time for these people to reward the early mornings, because it's like every single morning, even in the winter when it's ice cold, you're bundled up with your the what is it, the coyote lined fur? What are those
The
called?
Canada Goose coat.
Canada Goose coat. coat.
Coyote lined fur.
But they use coyote fur
Yeah,
for
it's
those.
so warm, that coat. Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody get one. Super warm.
Yeah, and kill coyotes to do it. That's what Kim just said.
No,
I'm just kidding. I was just kidding.
You just wrecked anybody who wanted.
No, she's a coyote sympathizer. No, but really,
I was
people
very
should.
excited to see the news about the film and the fundraising
thank you.
efforts.
Yeah.
I was
Thank
very
you.
excited about
Thanks.
that.
So we're going to
Yeah,
keep
I'm-
it sticky for a couple more days, but when it isn't sticky, people need to realize they can always go to her direct Facebook page, and there'll be a link on her Facebook page.
Yeah, I don't want people to get sick of it. So I was hoping you could stick it at the beginning, the middle, and the end for a few days, and I'll kind of let you know that. But we raised $800 the first day and $700 the second day. So
Bammy.
that's
Kablammy.
kablammy is right. People are so generous. I'm so
Well,
I'm so
it's-
touched. I really am. It's very
I'm
not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry.
Oh, Lord.
But
Anyway,
thank you for the sticky, and thank you everybody for your good words and your support. Somebody donated $500 and somebody donated $5. So
There was
we're
another person, anonymous. Was it like?
yeah, 2 people 500. But anyways, I'm just saying 5 to 500, and I would anything $5,000 and up. Somebody would get a producing credit.
Producer.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you make
I
them
think
tea
so.
at the house and stuff? Tea and crumpets at the house? Does that come with that package?
Yes.
All right.
That's $10,000.
Okay,
So another piece of news with Kim. This past week, Essex National Heritage. We talked about this, but we really didn't know it at all. But I know a little bit more about it now.
Oh, you did, because I didn't go to. I didn't realize.
You missed the thing.
I missed the thing, but it's a 3-year commitment, so I missed the thing, and
Let me explain.
Okay, you
and then you
explain.
can go ahead and tell me how you totally snubbed the award givers.
I totally messed up. So
This past week, this is Catherine sent this in to me, so she thankful to Catherine for following up on this for me. This past week, Essex National Heritage announced new trustees, including Peter Weber from the Cape Ann Chamber, and new commissioners, including Kim Smith, and 2017 Pioneer and Partnership awardees, including women-owned businesses on the Byway Essex National Heritage, of the Byway. Essex National Heritage organizes the wildly successful Trails and Sails and the Coastal Scenic Byway, the best route home from the airport if you have family friends visiting for the first time and they get into Logan like at 4 p.m. on a weekday and don't want to be horribly stuck in traffic on Route 1. Anyway, Essex National Heritage celebrated their 20th anniversary this past winter, and many Gloucester and Cape Ann organizations were recognized. Only one person, though, and that one person was Kim Smith, our Kim Smith. So congratulations for that. All of us, the others were organizations, and you were the only individual that was recognized.
Oh, thank you.
So congratulations. Well, don't thank me, thank them.
Okay.
And thank Catherine for giving me the info.
Yeah, thank you to Catherine. She
So
was
we're going to be
really
hearing more about this because obviously at some point you will attend the meeting.
Yes, yes. So I had written it down on the wrong date, and then I couldn't switch because I had so much family here this past week. So it was embarrassing to start off on that foot.
I'm sure. Listen, with your outreach and your time slot on Good Morning Gloucester, they're going to get more than their fair share of contributions from your end. I am quite sure. So
yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Good news. Good news.
Thanks, Joe.
Good.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Dan Ruberti Passed, long time guy. He ran for for mayor ever since I can remember.
Yeah, like
really?
20. I don't know the actual number of times, but he was always in the Tally Square
with the trumpet.
Yeah.
Blowing the trumpet, and he always had funny.
Since you guys were kids, really? Wow. That's
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I can remember, on the vinyl seats of the back of my father's Mercury Grand Marquis, stuck to the seats, skin melded to the vinyl, And,
you made me just feel that.
right? Can you remember like unsticking your leg from those vinyl seats?
Yes, I do remember.
Those engineers should be like put into like a bad engineering Hall of Fame.
And then you can even see like sweat glistening.
Yes.
Oh, just the worst, like Naugahyde. Anyway, so condolences to his family. We spoke out to we did the shout out to Happy Belly and the Franklin. I just Tacos Lupita. Do you guys see the post?
Yep.
So Edwin.
The Puerto Rican efforts for
Yes.
relief. Yeah.
So
efforts for Puerto Rican relief.
Edwin is a super nice guy. He's basically the manager at the Gloucester Tacos Lupita, and he put together people could donate goods and services, and they got 2 containers worth of relief stuff to send down to Puerto Rico, and he sent a note that they need some money to get the containers down to Puerto Rico. So anybody that wants to, I put a link to his Facebook page, or I'm sure you can just go right down to Tacos Lupita, which has one of the cheapest, best lunches or dinners that fast lunches or dinners that you can get in this city.
Thanks for the reminder. It kind of went off my radar. You know what I mean? And there's so many wonderful places in Gloucester, and sometimes things just go off your radar, and then you're like, oh, we're gonna go there. Right. Yeah.
It fell off for like a year for me, and I went back and I'm like, oh my God, how have I not been here? It's like a $6 or $7 Gordo burrito. It's just packed with love.
In your defense, you've been grilling so much.
Yeah, I really haven't been eating that much, but like in evenings, and Kate cooks with generally if I'm really busy, Kate will cook.
She cooks a nice dinner.
Yeah, she does. So I'm not like.
And she's a great cook.
She's a wonderful cook.
Super healthy.
Super healthy.
Delicious and super healthy.
Speaking of healthy, I want to go around and ask everybody's opinion. How bad is it if you at 7 o'clock in the morning you're just like you can't help yourself but open up like bags of tortilla chips and eat them?
And
especially are tortillas bad for you? What is that bad?
No, I don't think so.
I'm addicted to these Garden of Eatin Red Hot Blues corn tortilla chips. They're spicy.
It's just basically corn, oil, and salt, right?
Is that what it is?
I think it's the dye that's the worst.
The what?
The blue dye.
No, it's the blue corn.
They use the blue corn.
It's blue corn.
It's blue corn. This company, they tout themselves as a very like organic,
No, it's definitely blue corn. I love those as well.
It says, okay, ready? Here you go. Garden of Eatin difference, made with organic whole corn kernels, natural expeller pressed oils, no genetically modified ingredients, no hydrogenated oils, no artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives. Kosher certified and gluten free.
There you go.
It's like eating corn off the cob.
Jesus.
You know what?
I break it up and pour milk on it and pour it in the cereal bowl.
You know what I think? You know what I think?
No one would ever know.
The only thing that I would say might be a little bit bad is they're salty. So you just have to watch your salt consumption, especially as you get older. And then if you start out having something super salty, then as you go through the day, you might just want something saltier and more flavor. You know what I mean?
Is that what happens? Because I find myself wanting to eat the whole bag.
Well, I was going to ask you, what is it that you said at 7 in the morning, which you've already been up for God knows what number of hours.
Yeah, my alarm goes off at 3:25.
Okay, so
that's
you're
like lunch for you.
You're legit hungry, so.
And the bag is the bag is right there.
Yeah. Is it the crunchy? Is it the salt?
So I'm a salt guy. I am a salt guy.
Yeah. So if your body's telling you or craving salt, then
you know what? I know you eat almonds, so mix it up with some almonds. And the almonds will be more rib sticking. Will stick to you more because the protein, and the chips will make you hungry again in half an hour. So.
And so do you guys? Are you guys? So. What's your okay? This is gonna be a simple question, but I'm going completely off topic, but I'm obsessed with this. Have you ever heard of Ro-Tel Dip?
Yes.
Velveeta.
Never had it.
And Ro-Tel.
Never had it.
It's
but
like chopped
I've seen
up.
it advertised.
Oh, yeah.
What, Judy? What, Judy? Judy.
Now it's sounding familiar.
It's like
And they mix them together.
You mix them
Makes a
together,
queso
and you
dip
just
or
put them in a
something,
crock
yes.
pot. You warm them up and stuff. It's like a queso dip.
Right.
So the Ro-Tel comes in a can. It's diced up. Look behind you. Look on the corner right there. Is it right there? It's right in the corner there, on top of the Mudiga.
Yep.
What is it? Diced what?
Diced tomatoes and green chilies.
Diced tomatoes and green chilies. You put that in with this chopped up Velveeta. You put it in the.
Oh my God.
I swear to God, it's the best stuff ever.
It's the best stuff that's really bad for you, probably. Yeah.
But I don't think it's
Yeah.
the Ro-Tel that's bad. It's the
No,
I think it's the
yeah.
Velveeta.
Yes, yeah.
But you gotta try it because it's just 2 ingredients,
Yeah.
and you can
Yeah.
make this really yummy stuff, and then you can put it in a little
Talk about sticking
little
to your
dip
ribs.
thing, and then you can dip these.
You
these
can dip your cheese, your
Right.
chips in them.
Right.
cheese.
I'm gonna do it on the grill. I'm gonna smoke the Velveeta cheese with the Ro-Tel, and then I'm gonna put it on the side with these
Now you're
chips.
just showing off.
And I'm gonna just gorge myself until I pass out and have like a big thing of Ro-Tel just going down, the dip coming down my chin
It'll be
onto my
dripping
belly.
down. We'll find him
And
on
you're
the,
getting your vegetables, so.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
dairy, vegetables.
we'll find him slumped against the doorway out here with yellow stuff dribbling out.
You know, there's going to be so many of these other chefs and these other restaurants we were just talking about earlier listening to this, and they're all going right now,
That's right. That's right.
maybe I need to talk to Chef Joey.
Pat, you said you went to where did you go?
We went to the Pigeon Cove Tavern. Your recommendation, we'd heard you say many, many times how good it was, and they had a coupon in the paper. So it was Thursday night, and we went out there for dinner. Judy and Patrick stayed there the last time at the Emerson, the last time they were here, and they liked it very much.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
And we had dinner out on the deck. And the best part, I mean, I came out of there saying, "Oh, my mouth is so happy." All I had was it was a simple burger, and it was so good. It was really good. Jim had the chicken, and then the full moon started to rise up out of the ocean just over our, so we were like, oh boy, cannot beat this. Cannot beat this.
We
It
saw
was a great
whales
dinner.
when we went out for our sunrise when we were out there.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. That's right.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was
So it was lovely.
their farm fresh salad. I think they call it the fall salad.
Yeah.
I had to try that.
Oh, that
That
sounds
was wonderful.
delightful.
And the desserts and it was really
It was a
just
nice
a
evening.
great meal.
Yeah.
I mean, now the food is great there. I just think that the decor and the room and the
I love
napkins and the silverware, the place settings, and
I love their candle holders.
yes, the candle holder. We talk about this every time, but it's worth repeating. And did you get? I mean, isn't it just like
It
a
brings
classy place?
It brings my grandparents' house to mind. Because I keep seeing.
A refreshed version of that.
Yes.
I was just enthralled that there was only a few people working out there, but they didn't run around, they didn't rush you, though they were very busy. There was a gentleman that was trying to keep the bar going, but still managed to go out and serve some of the dinners. And she maintained, she was moving around quite nicely, made sure everybody had their stuff, knowing she was, and she said to us, "Yep, it's just me today," and running around, but I never felt like,
Yeah.
you know, it was just a wonderful thing. They made it very comfortable.
It's
Very
fantastic.
comfortable.
I want to go through. I want to thank Catherine for putting together these art links, and the links will be in the show notes. These will be going on today and tomorrow. Annisquam Arts and Crafts Show today, Sunday. By the time you see this, it's probably over. Cape Ann Artisans Trail today, Sunday and Monday, because so tomorrow's a holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What is it? Columbus Day.
Yes.
Okay, so Cape Ann Artisans Trail. There's a link. You can check out where to go there. Peabody Essex Museum Ocean Liners closing October 9th, which is tomorrow. American Craft Week at Good Linens event. Local Colors is having an event, and Pauline's Gift and More.
David Calvo is also having for the Arts and Crafts Week.
David Calvo is? Okay.
And you know who did most of the organizing for that was Donna from Diva. So she's
Studman.
Donna Stoneman, and she has another last name, but I can't pronounce it. But she's the one who did most of the organizing and of the events, as well as getting Gloucester recognized as an American craft city. So
fantastic.
we were named one of the top 10 craft destinations recently.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So there's a link to that.
Yeah.
Cyclocross weekend is next weekend, October 14th and 15th. Cape Ann Cinema and Stage Doctoberfest Documentary Film Festival, October 13th to 19th. Cape Ann Cinema and Stage Scary Movies all October. And Cape Ann Cinema and Stage has a UU Church silent horror movies.
Oh.
Hunchback of Notre Dame, October 17th,
Oh, fun.
7:30 p.m.
Fun.
Rockbound is at Cape Ann Museum. That's closing October 29th. I don't know what else is happening on that day.
I'm just looking through.
I don't know.
Is that
Let me think. I know. Yeah. Let me see.
Well, not much, I think.
Nah.
I don't know. But actually, that's a Sunday, right? October 29th.
It is. So we'll be having a podcast on my birthday.
Yes.
And-
we
Oh,
will.
cool.
I noticed that.
And also, we're having a special event at Gloucester Stage called The Magic of Theater.
The magic.
Oh.
In
I
honor,
know about that.
in honor of
Houdini.
such a special week. No, we're gonna go
Oh.
behind the scenes and show how we do, like how we made it rain in Rainmaker, how the glass got broken in Bank Job, all these different things, and then there's gonna be a magician there too.
How you have running water on a stage.
Yeah, and everything, all that, and the tech people are gonna come to the forefront
Oh, fun.
and be a part of that. So that's also a big day as well. And did you talk about wearable art? I went to wearable art last weekend.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, the
Was it
Sea
good?
Arts.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was amazing. It's so fun, and to see the designers that are local. I mean, Jen Greek
Beth Williams.
is amazing. Beth Williams. Oh my God, Beth Williams had a necklace on that was to die for. And Jen Greek was a co-winner of Best in Show, and then Gina and Beth at Sage did a wedding gown made of flowers.
Sage florists. They're great.
Yeah, they're beautiful. They do beautiful
great.
things.
It was so, after you see that, you know why we're one of the top destinations for crafts and artisans. I mean, it was unbelievable.
It is unbelievable.
And Camilla McFadden.
She
had a beautiful cut. I mean,
she had some tunics that were amazing.
Yeah, I think she's very talented.
Oh yeah, her scarves are great, and she teaches you how to tie them, and it's like you can.
Yeah, but her designs and her skin. I mean, she's very talented. We should have her on the show.
Have her
I'd
in?
love to have her on the show.
Get a hold of her.
Okay.
You're supposed to be doing these things. I'm just kidding. Did you have any other topics you wanted to discuss today?
No, because like we talked about Craft Week and things like that. So, I wanted to tell everybody that we all over Cape Ann, all over the Northeast, are having a really good monarch migration, which is wonderful to see. And then
I've been seeing that window, that little tiny window right there.
Yeah, you just
every
see
day I see once or twice I see a flutter.
fluttering by.
Yeah.
I turned my camera on just because I'm trying to record, try to get a sense of how many, and I just recorded them just flying by. And at one point there were 3 or 4 every 30 seconds. And
wow!
This went on for about 2 hours. You know,
Oh,
and
you
just
didn't mention
flying.
you didn't mention the Denver airport with
the Denver-
the radar
Right.
there was no rain, but it picked up this huge mass of
painted lady butterflies. So the butterflies that we've been sharing photos about and writing about it's really started in the spring with this huge wildflower bloom in the desert Southwest, and that has caused painted ladies to, there was lots of food for them to eat, lots of food for their caterpillars, and they've just been migrating northward, and that's why it's phenomenal to see something. It's called an eruption.
It's eruption.
It's called an eruption with an I, not an eruption,
There you go.
but an I-ruption.
All right. Well, listen, Kim, thank you so much. Please, everybody that's a fan of all Kim's work, please donate to her film. It's an important film. I can't wait to see it myself. I know everybody else can't. Thank you guys for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.